Favorite remarks in the history of human remarks was by Sir Cedric Hardwicke, who is a great British actor. And he said, "I have been a great actor for so long that I no longer know what I truly think on any subject." And I think that happens to a lot of people. And it happens to virtually every politician. Of course, I hate the Bitcoin success. I don't welcome a currency that's so useful and to kidnappers and extortionists and so forth, nor do I like just shuffling out a few extra billions and billions and billions of dollars to somebody who just invented a new financial product out of thin air. I think I should say modestly that I think the whole damn development is disgusting and contrary to the interests of civilization. And I'll leave the criticism to others. And by the way, the Roman Empire worked as long as it did because it was so decentralized. I think it's just god-awful that something like that would draw investment from civilized men and decent citizens. It's deeply wrong. We don't want to make our money selling things that are bad for people.
But we've got the states doing it with the lottery, you know.
No, but that's bad too.
Yeah, I understand.
That's very
but I mean,
bad.
Once
that's
you
very bad.
First,
That's
yeah.
one of the things that's wrong with it. It's getting respectable to do these things. The states are just as bad as Robin Hood.
Well, in a sense, they're worse. I mean, they're really taxing.
I know it's.
Based
I
on
know. I know.
Yeah, they're taxing hope. They do that.
The states in America replaced the mafia as the proprietor of the numbers game. That's what happened.
Yep.
They pushed the mafia aside and said, "That's our business, not yours." Doesn't make me proud of my government. I think it's probably a mistake to be basically anti-capitalist. I think capitalism is what raises GDP for everybody. And I have also a feeling that Benjamin Franklin was right when he said that it's hard for an empty sack to stand upright. And to some extent, the prosperity of leading American institutions helps them behave better. Now, there are exceptions in promotional finance and so on, but by and large, Franklin was right. And so I'm a little wary of just constantly being mad at people because they have a little more money. I frequently said I wouldn't move across the street to save my children $500 million in taxes. And so I have, that's my personal view on the subject. But I do think it is stupid for states to drive out their wealthiest citizens. The old people that don't commit any crimes, they donate to the local charity. Who in the hell in their right mind would drive out the rich people? I mean, Florida and places like that are very shrewd, and places like California are being very stupid. It's contrary to the interests of the state. Well, I don't think it would be the end of the world. We've adapted to the tax rate, whatever it is. I personally prefer holding Berkshire to holding the market. I'm quite comfortable holding Berkshire. I think our businesses are better than the average in the market.
Is it because you don't think the market values it fairly?
Well, these are just accidents of history, and things are fluctuating at all times. But on a composite basis, I'd bet on Berkshire over the market. That's assuming we're all dead. You know, you can imagine two things. A young man marries into your family. He's a English professor at, say, Swarthmore, or he works for Chevron. Which would you pick? Sight unseen. I want to admit I'd take the guy from Chevron.
Well, I hope your daughters agree with you.
Yes, and the professional economists, of course, have been very surprised by what's happened. It reminds me of what Churchill said about Clement Attlee. He said he was a very modest man and had a great deal to be modest about. And that's exactly what's happened with the professional economists. You know, they were so confident about everything, and it turns out the world is more complicated than they thought.